Hey, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 10. We would like to present our material, and this is about assessing listening. And here is my group member. There are Suci Febriani and me, Zulfa Zanjabil Kasturi. So for the first material, I will deliver it by myself. Next slide. Okay, so this is about observing the performance of the four skill. Nah, for your information, four skill itu diantaranya ada speaking, listening, writing, dan juga reading gitu ya. Just in case teman-teman ada yang bertanya kayak gitu. So, here is the material. When you propose to assess someone's ability in one or a combination of the four skill, you assess that person's competence, but you observe the person's performance. Sometimes the performance doesn't indicate true competence. A bad night rest, illness, and emotional distraction, test anxiety, a memory block, or other student-related reliability factor could affect performance. Terlebih, providing an unreliable measure of actual competence. Nah, jadi rata-rata ketika seorang teacher itu menilai kemampuan seseorang, mereka itu menilai dari segi performance-nya, dari segi penampilannya, bukan dari kemampuan asli si anak tersebut kayak gitu. Nah, kadang performance itu bukanlah kemampuan asli dari student gitu. Kadang ada performan yang jelek atau kurang baik atau kurang bagus, akan tetapi sebenarnya si murid tersebut memiliki kemampuan yang bagus gitu, baik dari keempat skill tersebut ataupun one of the four skill gitu, salah satu dari keempat skill tersebut. Nah, hal ini tuh dapat disebabkan diantaranya misalkan si anak tersebut lagi sick gitu, lagi sakit, atau sebelum si student itu perform, student itu mengalami bad night crash gitu, jadi kurang istirahat atau emang lagi emosinya gak stabil kayak gitu, itu menyebabkan performance itu kurang baik kayak gitu. Jadi performance yang ditunjukkan si anak itu tidak mutlak dapat menilai kemampuan aslinya gitu. Jadi kemampuan aslinya itu tidak selalu bisa diukur dengan performance. Nah, tapi guru itu kebanyakan menilai kemampuan itu dari performance yang mereka lihat tanpa mempertimbangkan skill aslinya gitu, tanpa mempertimbangkan performance yang dilakukan sebelum-sebelumnya kayak gitu. Oke, next slide. Nah, so here is the importance of listening gitu. Jadi pentingnya kemampuan mendengarkan atau listening. First, listening has often played second fiddle to its counterpart speaking. Listening is often implied as component of speaking. How could you speak a language without also listening? A good speaker is often unwisely valued more highly than a good listener. Nah, jadi listening itu sangat penting ya, sangat apalagi untuk kemampuan berbicara gitu, sangat memiliki pengaruh. Karena bagaimana kita bisa berbicara apabila kita tidak bisa mendengar kayak gitu. Nah, tapi a good speaker is often valued. Jadi pembicara yang baik itu biasanya selalu dinilai lebih baik daripada pendengar yang baik. Padahal kedua hal itu saling ada korelasinya gitu, sangat penting gitu kedua hal itu, karena tidak akan menjadi pendengar yang baik mungkin kalau tidak bisa berbicara dengan baik, begitupun sebaliknya. Okay, next. So here is basic types of listening. The first one is intensive. Nah, intensive itu adalah listening for the perception of the content, phonemes, word intonation, dessert market, etc. of a larger strain of language. Next is responsive. Listening to a relative short strain of language, a greeting, question, command, comprehension, check, etc. in order to make an equally short response. Next is selective. Listening to a relative short string of language, greeting, question, command, comprehension, check, etc. in order to make an equally short response. So next is extensive. Listening to develop a top-down global understanding of spoken language. Next slide. Nah, di sini ada micro and macro skill of listening. The first one is macro. The macro skill is the skill that relate to the desired level of organization, while those that remain a certain level continue to be called micro skill. The next is micro skill. The listener has to interpret intonation pattern. Exaggerate, recognize, stress, and rhythm. Jadi di mikro itu listener-nya itu lebih ke menerjemahkan intonasi pattern-nya gitu. Jadi kayak kata mana yang dikasih stress, terus ritmenya kayak gimana kayak gitu. Next. Okay, so here is designing assessment tasks. The first one is in intensive listening. Recognizing phonological and morphological element of language, giving a spoken element of language, giving a spoken stimulus and ask test stimulus and ask test taker to identify the takers to identify the stimulus from two or more choices. And next, paraphrase recognition, providing a paraphrase recognition, providing a stimulus sentence and asking the test stimulus sentence and asking the test taker to choose the correct paraphrase from a number of choices, next. Okay, so next is designing assessment tasks also, and this is about responsive listening. Jadi basic yang kedua. So appropriate response to to a question, how much time did you take to do your homework? Nah ini ada dua pilihan ya, dua pilihan cara menjawab pertanyaan tersebut. The first one is with multiple choice. Di sini ada contohnya, ada jawabannya itu ada A in about an hour, ada B about an hour, ada C about $10, and D yes I did. Nah jadi bisa dipilih jawaban yang benar dari pertanyaan how much time did you take to do your homework, and the correct answer is A in about an hour. Nah cara menjawab yang kedua ini bisa dilihat in the second point. Open-ended respond to a question, how much time did you take to do your homework? Di sini bisa dilihat ya, di provide blank space untuk mengisi pertanyaan tersebut gitu. Yang blank space ini dinamakan open-ended respond, dan yang tadi yang multiple choice itu dinamakan dengan appropriate respond. Okay, next. Okay, for this material will be delivered by Suci. For Suci, the screen is yours.
Okay, thank you to Jova. And now I'd like to explain about designing assessment task, selective listening. So the third type of listening performance is selective listening, in which the test taker listens to a limited quantity of oral input and must discern within it some specific information. And the first one is listening close. These tasks require the test taker to listen to a story, monologue, or conversation and simultaneously read the written text in which selected words or phrases have been deleted. And in its generic form, the test consists of a passage in which every nth word, typically every seventh word, is deleted, and the test taker is asked to supply an appropriate word. And then next, in a listening close task, test takers see a transcript of the passage that they are listening to and fill in the blanks with the words or phrases that they hear. And then one potential weakness of listening close technique is that they may simply become reading comprehension tasks. Test takers who are asked to listen to a story with periodic deletions in the written version may not need to listen at all, yet may still be able to respond with the appropriate word or phrase. You can guard against this eventuality if the blanks are items with high information load that cannot be easily predicted simply by reading the passage. And then other listening close tasks may focus on grammatical categories such as verb tenses, articles, two-word verbs, prepositions or transition words or phrase. And then listening close tasks should normally use an exact word method of scoring in which you accept as a correct response only the actual word or phrase that was spoken and consider other appropriate words as incorrect. And then the next one, information information transfer. Uh, in this one, selective listening can also be assessed through an information transfer technique in which orally processed information must be transferred to a visual representation, such as labeling a diagram, identifying an element in a picture, completing a form, or showing routes on map. And then the next one, in another genre of picture cute tasks, a number of people or actions are presented in one picture, such as a group of people at a party. And then the next one, in the third picture cute option used by the test of English for international communication, one single photograph is presented to the test taker, who then hears about for different statements and must choose one of the four to describe the photograph. And then the next one, information transfer tasks may reflect greater authenticity by using charts, maps, grids, timetables, and other artifacts of daily life. And then such chart filling tasks are good example of oral scanning strategies. Chart filling tasks increase in difficulty as the linguistic stimulus material becomes more complex. And then QGIS describes map marking task. Okay, next. He described a map marking task in which test taker must process around 250 words of colloquial language in order to complete the task of identifying names, positions, and directions in a car accident scenario on a city street. Okay, the next material. Sentence repetition. In this one, the test taker must retain a stretch of language long enough to reproduce it and then must respond with an oral repetition of that stimulus. Sentence repetition is far from a flawless listening assessment task. And then this task may test only recognition of sounds, and it can be easily be contaminated by lack of certain memory ability, thus invalidating it as an assessment of comprehension alone. And the teacher may never be able to distinguish a listening comprehension error from an oral production error. Therefore, sentence repetition tasks should be used with caution. And then the last one, designing assessment tasks, extensive listening. The first one is dictation. On a in a dictation, test taker hear a passage typically of 50 to 100 words recited 3 times. The first one at the normal speed, and then the next one with long pauses between phrases or natural word groups, during which time test taker write down what they have just heard, and finally at normal speed once more so they can check their words and proofread. And then the next point, the difficulty of a dictation task may be easily manipulated by the length of the word group, the length of the pauses, the speed at which the text is read, and then the complexity of the discourse, grammar, and vocabulary used in the passage. And then depending on your text and purpose, it administering a dictation, you will need to decide on scoring criteria for several possible kinds of errors. The first one, spelling error only, but the word appears to have been heard correctly. And then the second one, spelling or obvious misrepresentation of a word, illegible word. And then grammatical error. For example, the test taker hears, I can't do it. But he writes, I can do it. And then the next one, skip words or press. Then permutation of words, additional words not in the original, replacement of a word with an appropriate synonyms. And then the next one, communicative stimulus response task. An example of extensive listening is found in a popular genre of assessment, task in which the test taker is presented with a stimulus monologue or conversation and then is asked to respond to a set of comprehensions. And then the last, authentic listening task. The first one, note taking. The process of scoring is time consuming, and because of the subjectivity of the point system, it lacks some reliability. But the gain is in offering students an authentic task that mirrors exactly what they have been focusing on in a classroom. The notes become an indirect but arguably valid form of assessing global listening comprehension. The task fulfills the criteria of cognitive demand, communicative language, and authenticity. And then the next point, editing. Another authentic task provides both a written and a spoken stimulus and requires the test taker to listen for these discrepancies. Scoring achieves a relatively high reliability as there are usually a small number of specific differences that must be identified. One potentially interesting set of stimuli for such a task is the description of a political scandal, first from a newspaper with a political bias, and then from a radio broadcast from an alternative news station. The test takers are not only forced to listen carefully to differences, but are subtly informed about biases in the news. And then the next point, interpretive tasks. One of the intensive listening tasks described above was paraphrasing a story or conversation. An interpretive task extends the stimulus material to a longer stretch of discourse and forces the test taker to infer a response. Potential stimuli include song lyrics, poetry, radio or television new reports, and an oral account of an experience. Test takers are then directed to interpret the stimulus by answering a few questions. And then the last one, retelling. In a related task, the test taker listen to a story or news event and simply retell it or summarize it, either orally or in writing. In so doing, test taker must identify the gist, main idea, purpose, supporting points, and conclusion to show full comprehension. Okay, maybe that's all from me. I'll give back to Zulfa.
Okay, thank you so much, Suchi, for your presentation. Okay, guys, maybe that's all from us. So for all of you who still confused and still have a question, please just ask it in the psychology comment section down below. So that's all. Thank you for your kind attention. And the last, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.